sixth graders. We are continuing our work on the timeline. Today, you're going to learn about making sure you have your first and last name and class period on your paper, using 14 to 18 size font, leave space for your text to be cut when it's printed on paper, size your table cells, get rid of table cell lines, add pictures to your document, and use your pictures or take pictures with your Chromebook. So let's take a look at my example here. First of all, I want you to use size 14 to 18 font. This will ensure that you have enough space on your timeline to add all your details. For example, this one right here, George Anderson, this is a size 16 font. Okay. I also bolded it, so it's a little bit thicker. Look at this one. This is a little bit smaller. This is size 14 font. Okay, and those are also bolded. So use size 14 to 18 font and a font that is mostly normal looking, not funky, because we need to be able to read it. Also remember, you need your first and last name on your paper. In fact, have it on, if you have two sheets, have it on both sheets, because when we print, we need to know whose it is. And you may want to, and I recommend, that this is something that you cut out and actually glue down onto your paper. Whoops. So make sure you have that. So you're going to need George Anderson, don't need the 16 font, and Fifth Hour. Okay, you would need that to cut out and paste. All right, the next thing is, in your cells, they may be kind of tight for when you actually use scissors and cut. So what I recommend you do is that you click in the cell and then hit the Enter key to space them out a little bit, because when you want to cut, you need room to actually cut them out. Okay, so you can space the cells that way. Okay, the next thing I want you to think about is in your actual text to size the cells, because this, however you print, this is what it'll look like when you cut it out on and paste it onto your timeline. So for example, these are a rectangular, so my family traveled without me to Disneyland because I was bad. Or my new favorite movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, came out in 2018. So this has got 4 lines to it, 3 lines. This has 1, so that's something to consider, the sizing. Check out down here. What I did was I grabbed this border with this table and I slid it over to give me fewer lines, but it's longer. So notice how now the Disneyland line has 2. So these are now stretched out. Okay? So that's something you may want to think about, is how tight do you want your cells. This one I even squished it in a little bit more. Now if I was going to do more of a boxy style, maybe I would actually want to bring it in a little bit more. Okay, so then that has a little bit different look. So think about how tight you want your table cells. All right, the next thing is, once you like how this looks, you want to get rid of your lines on the cells. And so what you're going to need to do is highlight only the cells, and when you do that, this little pencil up here, it says border color, is going to show up, and then if you select the white circle right here, notice it got rid of all the lines. Okay, Control C, I'm going to undo that. Now if you select beyond that, like say down here, notice that line, that little pencil with border color doesn't show up. So again, click and drag only in the cell, then this border color shows up, and then we can get rid of it. All right, so I want to do that here as well, border color, make it white, and that'll clear it out. Okay, so that's how you get rid of lines. Oh, almost time for class here, isn't it? Next thing is you're going to want to add some pictures. So what I recommend you do is, again, add a table. So here's how I added a table, where I added a table, and I have pictures that are corresponding to my timeline. Now, in order to fit the pictures, on your timeline, I want you to have less than half a page of pictures to be printed. So I'm going to zoom this out a little bit, and you can see that my page is about this size, but my pictures are going to fit about right here. Now, I could do it at just maybe a little bit larger, but I don't recommend that because you'll run out of room on your timeline. So about a half a page of pictures. All right. So now here's some thoughts about adding pictures. So here you go. Let's go insert again, just like when we inserted a table yesterday. Insert table and cells. So if you have 7 events, let's do maybe a let's try 4 by 2. So here's my 4 by 2 table. Now this is something that you can actually stretch out. And then what you're going to need to do is copy and paste or select your pictures and then paste them actually into these cells, and then you'll need to resize that. All right. Now I'm going to show you on a separate video how to access that from your Chromebook. Actually, let me see if it'll work here. I think in your Chromebook, to add pictures in here that you took, if you go up to Insert, then go to Image, and then I believe for your Chromebook, if you go to the one that says Camera, okay, and I don't have a camera, but you will, and there's going to be a little tab for how you get pictures from there. Otherwise, you may copy and paste generic pictures from the internet, so like say a picture of a basketball if you don't have that, or like a picture of a trip that you took that's similar. I think that's acceptable. I will say generally when you copy and paste pictures from the internet, it's important that you give credit to who you got that picture from. All right, so today we're going to be editing our notes for our timeline, and I want you to make sure that you have your first and last name, you've got your class period, you've got all your dates, you've spaced them out. Let's see where we go. Here we go. We've spaced them out appropriately. You've decided how you want your text to show up, if it's going to be more square-like or if it's going to be a longer look. And we'll head back up to the Media Center and get after it. Now when you do finish, then you're ready to start cutting and pasting actually on paper, and I'll talk about that soon. Have a great day.